Sorry if the answer seems obvious, but I've had so much backlash I'm starting to question myself. I am 25, my brother is 22. He lives with me since he moved out of our parents' house, reasons are irrelevant. I came home to find him with his buddies in my home, getting wasted.
I was pissed because he never asked if he could have people over. I'm an adult OP, I can do what I want.
Apparently he and his friends were throwing a bullet-dodged party. He had been seeing this girl for a bit. She texted him letting him know that she was pregnant, but planning to abort the baby. She asked if he could financially help her pay for the operation. He blocked her. I was horrified. Apparently he and his brilliant friends decided that she had lied about taking birth control, because it's impossible for women to get pregnant if they're on the pill. Right. I was livid. I was completely disgusted not only by their ignorance towards birth control and safe love, but by the fact that he would block a girl and leave her completely on her own to handle a problem that he was at least 50% responsible for. I told him, in these exact words, pack your crap and get the hell out. Obviously more than this has happened in the past, but this was my breaking point. I had tried so hard to bend over backwards for my baby brother. House him when he was homeless, help him get a job, give him rides. Only for him to turn out like that? Nope. So anyways, he and his friends stood there like they didn't think I was serious. I said again, all of you get the hell out. I don't want to see any of you here again. Here's where I'm possibly the idiot. I told him in no uncertain terms that he needed to collect his things and leave. If he was old enough to make big boy decisions, he was old enough to find a place on his own. He straight up said no. So I lost my temper. I grabbed as much of his stuff as I could, crammed it into a suitcase, and put / through the suitcase outside. I shouted that if he didn't leave I would call the police. Fast forward tears and begging, he was finally out. That night I got several messages that I was heartless for making him homeless. Their pregnancy wasn't his fault because, 1, it was an accident. 2, they weren't a serious couple so he had no reason to help her. 3, she should have been more careful. I called bullcrap, and said I would never allow someone with that sick mindset live under my roof. I said that he is not my brother and I don't want anything to do with him. My parents, my aunts, and some cousins are with me, but that leaves about 3/4 of the family against me. They think that I should support him because he is my brother. I should have given him time. He's not on the lease by the way, and he was supposed to pay rent but often didn't, and the punishment just didn't fit the crime. So am I the idiot? Not the idiot. He left this girl to figure out crap on her own, so that's what he gets. He was living the good life with you to take care of him. Let him suffer and spend some time in a homeless shelter. Maybe he'll get a job and get his life together. This is his wake-up call to life. You can't be the scum of the earth and expect people not to call you out on it. Your family can't yell at you about family and bull crap like that while ignoring what he did to this girl and her life. As a male he's already safer in a homeless shelter than a woman, especially a pregnant or young one. Yes, it will be bad for him, but guess what? He gets to learn to deal with crap on his own just like she'll have too. Not the idiot. People have to learn to take responsibility for their actions. You don't have to put up with a bunch of wasted, narcissistic, not my fault kind of people. Stand your ground. If your family thinks you are an idiot, what does that make them? Why didn't your parents put their foot down? Because I'm pretty sure he didn't start using meds at the age of 22. Not the idiot, actually refreshingly so. Post after post on here is about men being forced against their will to pay child support and being victims of horrible women. This is a far more common reality. He is not the idiot for getting her pregnant but for blocking her and refusing to contribute to an abortion. Instead of being asked for a lifetime of helping support a child, it takes 2 people to make a pregnancy. Background: my dad passed away when I, 20, was 6. He has 3 older kids from his ex-wife, RJ, 45, Rain, 47, and Rose, 49. He was separated but not divorced from his wife when he and my mother, 58, got together. They had their own trust funds, and when I was born he made me his sole beneficiary to anything and everything that was in his name, besides their trust funds OFC, and most specifically his house since his kids had their mom's house. In my dad's final days he made sure that all his assets were in order and that I'd get everything I'd need in life. He passed 7 days later. His ex-wife came to the property and kicked us out since they were still legally married. Now onto the problem. I'm now of age, and because of the housing market I want my house, so I went to visit the area, for memories and to see if there were any damage since I haven't seen it since I was 6, but to my surprise, I found my brother on the property with his wife and family. I said hi and wanted to catch up because I do love my brother, although he's never taken an interest in me, and instead of replying, told me to get off his property. Confused, I asked what he meant, and he told me to screw off, and he knows I'm here for the house and that he and his family made it their home this year because his mother passed and unfortunately lost the house due to her gambling addiction. I asked if we could work out something, but he again told me to leave. I don't know how he got the house. He blocked my number, as did his wife, and refused to talk at all. I have it in writing that it belongs to me and only me, and my dad's lawyer has been contacted and informed me that my brother has warrants and has a very bad criminal history. If I did take him to court, he would serve a few years at least. He has a new baby and 2 kids under 6, his wife also has a criminal record, so I wouldn't want to do anything that would put his babies in danger or tear apart their family. But he won't reason with me, and my other siblings don't like me, so I have no one to talk to. Would I be the idiot? Not the idiot. First of all, go to a lawyer to review everything that has happened. With your dad still being married, there might have been some issues with you even gaining the property. Maybe the prenup or default marriage structure where you live makes everything go to the longest living spouse. A will specifying otherwise doesn't trump marriage contracts or law. So even if he did will it to you, a law-strong contract, marriage contract or general law, might have nullified the way the will wanted to split the inheritance. Hell, even the way the trusts were transferred, inherited might have made for some weird implications. You aren't the idiot to sue, but first make sure you actually are or have been the owner, and why that changed. You need a lawyer. The probate records for your dad may be publicly available, but it sounds like you need someone to dig and see what actually happened 14 years ago. If your dad didn't have a valid will, then his wife would likely have inherited his estate, but it seems odd that he would be trying to settle his affairs etc. without making a will. So you need a probate search and a title search on the house. If there's any chance at all that your dad's lawyer somehow messed up in not protecting an asset that was supposed to go to you, you might want to think about hiring your own lawyer. See if you can get copies of all the paperwork from your dad's lawyer and take it with you. You'll have a much better sense of what's going on after you have some input from an attorney with only your interests in mind. And no, you're not the idiot for claiming property that was left to you. My 22 cousin, 24, is getting married next weekend. He proposed to his girlfriend, 25, on Wednesday and want to get married by next Saturday. They want to hold the ceremony at our grandparents' house, which I've the legal inheritance of. I've no objections to them wanting to get married there or anything. Also, there is no reason to technically rush the wedding, but they say they are in a very happy place and want to be married ASAP, well, whatever rows their boat. They want to hold the ceremony in backyard, and there's this platform of sorts where they want the wedding party to sit at reception. The thing is, one of their bridesmaids, 24, maybe 25, is a wheelchair user, and so they want to add a ramp to the platform. Now the conflict is, they asked me to get a ramp there. I've talked to the contractor who has done most of the furniture and stuff in that house, and he says he can only get to it next month. He's busy with some personal affairs. I told my cousin this, and he and his fiancée are very mad at me when I refuse to hire a different contractor or get a quick work done. I have offered to attach a temporary ramp, the detachable kind which I could rent from a nearby shop, instead. The bridesmaid is refusing this, saying she deserves a better accommodative and accepting facilities. Thing to be noted is, the cousin doesn't want to pay for ramp construction since it's not his house, and doesn't even want to pay any % of rent for ramp. Also, the rest of the house is wheelchair accessible since my grandma needed it, including washrooms. It's only this platform for some reason has no ramp but only stairs. I don't want any sloppy or expensive ramp done in a rush, because I don't have that kind of money saved or want to compromise the quality. The bride texted me saying she and my cousin have always walked on eggshells around me to make accommodations for my handicap and feelings this is the least I can do for them. For reference, my handicap is my autism. It's never occurred to me that it's a handicap or issue for people, at least family, to be around me. When I talked to my parents about this, they were very angry at her and have refused to attend wedding where their kid is disrespected. When my aunt, groom's mom, found out about this whole thing, she was red angry and said she might not attend the wedding too. Now the bride is calling me an ableist and instigator. Am I the idiot? Your house is not a wedding venue. It's your home. Any and all expenses for them using or modifying should first be approved by you and paid for by them. It's enough of a favor to let them use your home. Do you realize the time and effort that's going to be on you to have a whole bunch of people in and out of your home, using your bathrooms, kitchen, etc., the cleaning before/after, the paper supplies, sewage/water usage, and more? Yeah, you are not the one who should be bending backwards for this event. In fact, you wouldn't be to blame if you changed your mind because of their ridiculous demands and expectations. Way too much. You are generously offering the use of your home as their wedding venue for free. If your cousin and his fiancée want/need a ramp installed, they can make the arrangements and cover all of the costs. Also, their contractor needs to discuss the work with you and have your approval first to ensure that none of your property is damaged during, or by, the installation. But given their behavior once they were told that a ramp couldn't be installed instantaneously, you should tell them that because of their recent treatment of you, you rescind your offer to let them use your home as their wedding venue. Not the idiot in the least bit whatsoever. If this were me, my entire property would be off limits, and I'd be going no contact. If they still tried to push it, I'd get the police involved. The fact of the matter is that you're the one being denigrated here, and taken advantage of. No one, not even your own family, should have the right to just come into your home and start throwing their weight around as they've done. You have the authority here, not them. Attempting to blackmail you with your own struggles, as well, only speaks to the kind of people they are. I am 27, my sister is 21. She's a recovering med addict and recently joined a new NA home group and wanted me to come to a meeting to meet some of the people, especially one she's been considering asking to be her new sponsor. We'll call this woman Tina. Tina is a 40-something-year-old woman who has been in the program for 8 years and is a cherished figure at that specific NA group. Tina and my sister have been talking a lot since she joined the new group, texting constantly, and she even gives my sister rides to the meetings a lot of the time when I can't. My sister really likes this woman, and was excited for me to meet her. I was excited too, she seemed like a great influence for my sister. Anyway, I go to the meeting, it was fine, met a few people including Tina and everything was great. When it was time to leave, my car wouldn't start and Tina offered us a ride. I sat in the back seat to let my sister chat with her friend. As we're driving, Tina asks if she'd care if we stopped by her place so she could grab something and mentions something about making a delivery. We waited in the car while she went into her house and I asked my sister what she means by delivery and my sister is just really quiet and tries to shrug me off, but I pushed until she told me that Tina gets a prescription for this meds she doesn't take and sells it. I was absolutely speechless. I pushed my sister for more details, specifically how long she's known about this, and she told me she found out when Tina offered IT to her one day. I about lost my crap. Who does that? What kind of sick predator tries to peddle meds to non-members? I made my sister get out of the car and called an Uber as I proceeded to flip crap on this woman the entire time. In the car ride home, I messaged the leader of the home group and told him everything that happened and even got screenshots from my sister's phone with proof of her talking about meds. I also posted on my personal Facebook about her. No names, but people in those circles knew who it was about. The leader thanked me for telling him and I know he ended up confronting Tina because my sister has been getting messages from her and others in the group tearing her apart for allowing me to break anonymity and also breaking it herself by telling me what Tina did, and that we are ruining Tina's life and risking her sobriety, like she didn't do that all on her own. My sister is mortified and so angry with me. But I think I did the right thing and refused to apologize to this predator. Am I the idiot? Bringing it up to the group leader is fantastic. That woman is putting your sister and the group in danger. But putting it on blast on your Facebook is a line you shouldn't cross when it comes to NA or AA or any other anonymous group. Because of that you are the idiot because you did break the anonymous part of the group that you aren't even part of. You broke your sister's trust doing that. Everything else, yelling at the woman, removing your sister from her, telling the group, was fantastic though. Not the idiot. The purpose of all the rules in NA are to protect the members from any negative consequences of seeking help. That's why dealing this in a NA group is generally frowned upon. That's also why anonymity is generally supported. You did the right thing in protecting not just your sister, but her whole NA group. Take a correlate environment, medical practice. HIPAA protects patient identity. Exceptions to the rule exist if you find out someone is being harmed by someone else. In fact, You are not just encouraged but mandated to break anonymity and report to CPS if a child is involved in such a scenario. Not the idiot. You didn't break anything. You potentially saved people. The way that addiction works, it's absolutely heartbreaking, and preying on vulnerable people is vile. Give your sister some time, but always be there to hold space with her. She's probably blaming herself a lot. Her anger may be misguided. It is always hard when we find out those we cherish and look up to are not what they seem. It's hard when something you say impacts a large group of people. Take care of your you. You protected people. People can be angry now, but perhaps time will heal all wounds.